2022. I'm Suhas, Assistant Director, PIB New Delhi. So today in the IFFI Table Talks, we have with us the cast and crew of three feature films of Indian cinema. First, we have Saudi VELLAKKA, case number 225-2009 from Malayalam. Then we have TONIC from Bengali film industry. And we have Major from Hindi and Telugu. The interaction is being live streamed on PIB India's YouTube channel. So without further ado, let's start with the Malayalam movie, Saudi VELLAKKA, case number 225-2009. So we have with us Mr. Sandeep Senan sir, the producer, and we don't have Mr. Harindran G sir, who is a co-producer, or he's there? Okay. So Mr. Tarun Murthy is the director of the film. So his previous film, Operation Java, was a super hit. And the lead actress, Ms. Devi Verma, and the actor, Mr. Lukman. We also have Mr. Binu Pappu. He's one of the actors in the movie. So can we have the trailer of Saudi VELLAKKA? Lights. Lights, please. So for those of you who haven't watched the movie yet, here's a brief synopsis. So Saudi VELLAKKA is a courtroom drama about a 23-year-old Abhilash Sashidharan whose dream of Gulf visa is at stake. Desperate to find out the truth, he gets to know that the real issue was a small conflict between two neighbors, snowballing into a bigger one in a place called Saudi in Ernakulam. This changes the lives of everyone involved. Now, I request the director, Mr. Tarun Murthy, to share a few thoughts on the movie.
Good evening, all. I'm extremely proud and happy to be here as a part of IFFI with my second movie, Saudi VELLAKKA, CC 225/2009. Extremely happy. Yesterday we had a world premiere before the crowd yesterday. Getting good responses, getting good feedback. Then I'd like to share some words with my producer also.
Sure. Sandeep Senan sir, please. Yeah. If you can let us know about the movie also in a few words.
Very good evening, all. So humble to be at this IFFI 53rd IFFI, which is one of the prestigious film festivals in the subcontinent. And Saudi VELLAKKA is Tarun's second movie and my sixth movie. So it has been a great journey right from the beginning of this movie, and I'm sorry that there was no subtitles, so a lot of people couldn't connect.
Yeah, if you could add, talk a few words about the movie.
Yeah, I'll tell. So it's a movie which evolves around a very small community in Cochin, where there is a dwelling a place called Saudi. It is a colony. So Saudi and the story begins with a small coconut, falling on the neighbor's head, and that there begins the issue, and it just prolongs for years, and it is where we portray the system, how a system takes the life of, takes through the life of a person, a family, and how it evolves around families, and how humanity, takes on. It's, we have to look upon the humanity part of the people, the community as well. So it evolves around a few people and the system, and how the system emerges to be a bigger part in their lives, that changes them, and over the years, and they evolve over the years, and eventually the culmination is also very interesting. I think I don't know whether people have watched the movies here, but since we are releasing, this was a world premiere, and we are releasing on December 2nd in the theaters. So I have a lot of reservations on talking much about the movie, but still, fewer people have watched it, and if anybody has watched it, definitely I would love to hear from them the feedbacks. But this is a very emotional journey of an 85-year-old woman who has gone through years, over 15 years. So this is all about Saudi VELLAKKA.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now we will move on to the Bengali movie TONIC. So we have with us the director of movie, Mr. Avijit Sen, and we also have the actor, Mr. Dev, a MP also, and he portrays the role of TONIC. And we also have the producers here, Mr. Pranab Kumar Guha and Ms. Shrabani Guha from Bengal Talkies. Welcome all. Can we have the trailer, please?
খাওয়া যাবে না, কারণ ছেলের বারণ একটা কথাও শুনবে না, খালি নিজের পছন্দ, নিজের মর্জি মতো চলবে। নিজের পছন্দ আর মর্জি মতো চলে। সামনে মাসে তো তোর অ্যানিভার্সারি, তা কোথায় করছে তোর ছেলে? বাড়ির ছাদে। নিজেদের বিয়ে 10 বছরে ব্যাংক, আর বাপের বেলা ছাড়। তখন এই ছবি বার করে দিল। ও টনি, নমস্কার কাকা। কাকা, আমি টনি। বাড়ির ছাদে নয় কাকা, অ্যানিভার্সারি সেলিব্রেট হবে মাঝ আকাশের উপরে। তুমি তো ঘরের চালাপো না, বাইরে তো মারাদোনা। শীত গ্রীষ্ম বর্ষা, টনিকই বর্ষা। নো প্যানিক, অনলি টনিক। খুব গরম, কি বলবে? মাছ ভাজা রেডি হচ্ছে। এটা কি ঘুষ? হ্যাঁ, ये लिक्विड है, नहीं जाएगा। हमने नहीं जाएगा। अरे काका, सिर्फ ये की করবেন, টনিক আছে তো। সব বাধা ভেঙে বন্ধন মুক্ত। আরে কাকা, ক্লাস তো পুরো ফাঁকা। আমি রাফটিং করব, আপনি করবেন? না না না, আমি ওর মধ্যে নেই। আমি তো আছি। হ্যাঁ, শ্মশান পর্যন্ত। তারপর তো আমাকে একা ঢুকতে হবে। অনলি টনিক। টনিক খেলে না, বাঙালি বিশ্বে জয় করতে হবে। যদি টাটকা থাকে তাহলে এই বয়সেও ফাটকা খেলা যাবে। ছোট বয়সে পালালো, বাবাকে খুঁজে বের করতেই হবে। কিছু একটা করুন স্যার, প্লিজ। কিছু হবে না, কিচ্ছু হবে না। অনেক করে ফেলেছি, টনিক খেতে রাজি নই আমি। টনিক থাকলে আর প্যানিক করবেন না। আজ ছেলের শাসন নেই, মান অভিমান নেই, আছে শুধু একলা হাসিচ্ছে। তুই দেশি টনিক নয় রে, তুই আমার প্রাণের টনিক। তুমি জিতে যাও লটারি, ও টনিক। তুমি ননস্টপ ব্যাটারি, ও টনিক।
Thank you. A brief synopsis. The movie is about Jaladhar Sen, a septuagenarian who is vexed with his over-possessive and authoritative son, who's controlling him. Jaladhar plans a foreign trip for his wedding anniversary and meets a travel agent named TONIC, who later turns out to be a miracle maker in their life. Now I request Mr. Abhijit Sen, the director, to speak a few words about the movie.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for selecting TONIC at this prestigious program, Festival IFFI. So we are extremely thankful to NFDC and the organizer. We are here. Dave is sitting next to me. He played the vital character TONIC. We're actually sorry there was no synopsis, though subtitle. But yesterday we had a screening in the theater, and those who have seen the film, they have liked it, and we are so happy and surprised how could the emotion travel from screen to their heart directly. Regarding the film, as he was, wanted me to mention, it's a simple story of a 80 years old person who has, who wants to celebrate his 46th year marriage anniversary with his wife. He did not get any chance to celebrate his marriage anniversary in his entire life, because after his marriage he had grown his children. There was no time for him to celebrate with his wife. So this year, at the juncture of probably at the verge of his life, he had planned to celebrate with his wife. So he expressed to his son that I would like to celebrate. But son, said, his only son, he said that I have a plan, father. I have a plan for you, Dad. And the plan was, the child planned to celebrate his father's anniversary at the rooftop. But after listening to this, the old person, 8 years old person, became very sad. He said, last year, my son had gone to Bangkok to celebrate his marriage anniversary, 10th year's marriage anniversary with his wife. But I want to celebrate my anniversary, which I never did it in my career, in my life, for my son. So he became very sad. So he made a plan without informing to his son, parallel plan, that he would like to take his wife to celebrate. So then TONIC comes into the picture, because the old person, has no idea how to go, because he wanted to go abroad, because he has no passport, nothing, but he has a dream. Basically, it's a journey. The story is, it is a journey of a person, because my father is also 8 years old, and as there is a line called the super, possessive child, son. I am also very possessive, because everyone, we are very possessive about our father and mother, because we want them to be happy, physically fit. So even I also, take care of my father very well. I don't want him to go through any kind of physical problem. So from that, idea, I wrote a concept. The concept of TONIC, because I always tell my father, don't go to shopping, don't go to anywhere, because you might catch cold or you may fall sick, this may happen, that may happen. So one day my father told me, I am feeling like I am in a prison, but I am staying in my own house, but I feel that you are so strict, but I feel like I am in a prison. So that's the line, I wrote in a paper, and that's basically the journey of TONIC, the birth of TONIC, the seed of TONIC, from that line basically came into my mind. And from there we have taken almost around 1 year to develop the story TONIC. TONIC is a journey of a person who wants to fulfill their dream. It shows, it encourages people to, conquer their, dream, their wish and all. There is a very good, dialogue in the film called, if you have TONIC in life, you can conquer the world. So you can win the world, if you can win the, whatever it's there inside your mind, whatever you want to do. So that's mainly about the film. I would like to request Dev, the superstar of Bengal. It was a dream for me also, like to cast him, and he was so, we are thankful to him to be there. So I would like to request him to say something about him, about the film.
Please.
Namaskar. Hello. Namaskar. Good evening. First of all, thank you EP for selecting Tonic. We are honored, and it's always a great feeling to be in the cinema lovers. I think everyone passionate about cinema. That's why we are sitting. That's why we are here for. So it's a great feeling. Regarding Tonic happened to be very close to our heart because Tonic got released exactly during a pandemic. Last year before the third wave, and we are so proud that Tonic is the first Indian film after post-pandemic to complete 111 days in cinema hall. So that's a great feeling. Tonic is special because it talks about human relationship. It talks about today's generation. Children are today's time, they are overprotective. It's over concern. At times parents gets bothered. You fulfill your dream. Why can't we fulfill our dream? Even they want to surprise their wives. So that's the whole idea of Tonic. The main character, Panorama, who's playing the old person over here. He's a brilliant actor over there. He's also 80 years old, and he is also most popular actor over there. So he wants to surprise his wife to celebrate his anniversary in Paris, and that's the whole journey. In interval, it happened that he gets his passport, but his wife's passport gets rejected. And that's how the journey starts, and it's an adventure film, the idea of the film is that age is just a number. If you want to fulfill your dream, you can start anytime, anywhere. So that's how he takes this old man to water rafting, mountain climbing. There are so many adventures in the film. And that's the whole film is all about. And there's no villain in the film. Even son comes later on, and he also said that we are overprotective. We need to treat parents like a parent, not like a children. So the whole message was to be happy and celebrate relationship. That's it.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, even I watched the movie yesterday, and it was a emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, I know. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So next up, we have the Hindi movie Major. So we have with us the director of the movie, Mr. Shashikiran Tikka, and the lead actor and the screenplay writer, Mr. Shesh Adivi. The movie is produced by GMB Entertainment and A+S Movies. Can we have the trailer, please?
Yes.
बॉर्डर पार करके पाकिस्तान और दुबई कश्मीर क्यों बेचते थे? ये हमारी तरफ है और वो उनकी। हमारा ही तो है सर।
Sorry, I want subtitles to play.
मोने संदीप उठो। वो अच्छे लोग नहीं हैं, बहुत बुरे लोग हैं। बताएं, मैं कितना डर गई थी।
क्यों माँ? मैं अकेले हूँ ना।
बेटा, ये एंटी आर्मी, तुझे कुछ हो गया तो?
हर माँ ऐसे ही सोचेगी तो।
जब संदीप ने आर्मी ज्वाइन करने का फैसला किया था, हमें मंजूर नहीं था। हर घड़ी, हर पल उसकी जिंदगी खतरे में होगी। But that's the soldier's life. He picked the soldier's life.
तुम इसीलिए सोल्जर बनना चाहते हो?
क्यों?
ताकि सारी लड़कियां तुम पे फिदा हो जाए?
सारी नहीं, सिर्फ एक।
उसके लिए एक अच्छा बेटा बनने से ज्यादा, एक अच्छा पति बनने से ज्यादा,
संदीप,
कहीं ज्यादा जरूरी था एक सोल्जर बनना।
नेगेटिव मेजर, you're not going up there.
पर हमारे इनएक्शन की वजह से अगर एक भी जाओगे तो मैं जिंदगी में फिर कभी अपने आप को सोल्जर नहीं बुला पाऊंगा।
केमिस्ट्री 24 घंटे हो गए, अब कब आएंगे?
मेजर संदीप कब है? मेजर संदीप आएंगे।
Don't come up. I'll handle them. My son, Major संदीप उन्नीकृष्ण, वो रुक सकता था, वो पीछे हट सकता था, उसको पता था कि वो जिंदा नहीं लौटेगा, फिर भी आगे बढ़ा। उसने मौत की आंखों में आंखें रखकर कहा कि तुम मेरी जान ले सकते हो, लेकिन मेरे देश को नहीं। You may take me, but not my country.
मेरी बेटी की कहानी सिर्फ उस अटैक के बारे में नहीं है। उसकी अपनी एक जिंदगी है।
Thank you. Sorry about that. uh, I'll give you a brief synopsis. Everybody would have guessed it. The film is inspired by the life of brave soldier Major Sandeep Unnikrishnan, who was martyred during the 26/11 terrorist attacks in Mumbai in 2008. I must say the movie is a great tribute to Major Sandeep Unnikrishnan from IFFI, as tomorrow marks the 14th anniversary of his great sacrifice. Now, I request the director, Mr. Shashikiran Tikka, to brief about.
Yeah, good evening all. It's a great privilege to be here at the IFFI, the greatest film festival of our country. And coming to Major, it's a dream come true for us. It's a dream for Sesh to tell this story right from 2008 when the attacks were happening around the same time 14 years back. This is our second collaboration together, and I knew that he always wanted to tell the story about Major Sandeep Unnikrishnan. But when he told, I want you to direct this film, I was not very sure of directing the film, because I knew very little about Major Sandeep Unnikrishnan, and the moment I started exploring on who he is, and the more I started exploring, the more pull that connect that you make with a person, though he's not there, that connect was so immense that there was never looking back. And we all, from the forums that we have, we all know who he is, a great soldier, which we all know, but the great human being behind the soldier is what we always intended to tell. So, yeah, that's all about Major. And yeah. I want him to.
Say, sir.
Good evening, guys. It's my first time at IFFI. This is a bit momentous because 26/11 was yesterday, and it's a little grey, but Sandeep sir's sacrifice either happened today or the early hours of tomorrow. So the film being screened this afternoon was quite an emotional moment for all of us, because I was with his parents last night at the Taj Memorial in Mumbai. I flew here by the red-eye flight, and we were so touched that IFFI chose to screen the story of his life on the anniversary of his sacrifice. Major Sandeep is an extraordinary human being. I grew up in San Francisco, and I discovered him when I was living there, when I saw the attacks live on television like the rest of the world. And I wondered who this man was, who looked like all of my older cousins and brothers in India. And in fact, it is the reason why his parents agreed to allow us to make this film, because I look somewhat similar to him. My promise to his parents was I would never just be a film guy who makes this film. My promise to his parents was they'll always have me in the form of family, even after this film's done. So I'm really proud that 6 months after the release of our film and the massive success that the film's seen worldwide, we get to show it to a new audience of cinema lovers, and no better way to pay tribute to the great man's life. I'm thankful to Sony Pictures for producing and distributing this worldwide. The Telugu superstar Mahesh Babu sir, who couldn't be here today because he's actually, in fact, his father, the Telugu superstar Krishna Garu, just passed. So that's the reason he couldn't be here today. And I'm thankful to A+S, my dear friends, who also produced this film. Major is the best film we've ever done. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, floor is open for Q&A.
Well, a few questions would be nice.
Actually.
Yeah, very good evening to one and all. Before moving away from the major, yeah, the news flow 2611 attacks during the IFFI. After it, all the programs were standard still, and the normal functions have been passed on during the 2008. It was how commercially it was. The film was made in Telugu and Hindi. It was shot.
Yes, it was shot in both languages. It was also dubbed into Malayalam because that's Major Sandeep's mother tongue. So it was done as a tribute. The Malayalam version was done as a tribute more than commercial reasons. But it was shot in Telugu and Hindi, yes.
Yeah, because I hail from Hyderabad. That's the reason I was asking.
మీ తెలుగు వారేనా?
Yes. తెలుగులో మాట్లాడొచ్చు. వీళ్ళు కూడా వింటారు. తెలుగు అంటే ఏ లాంగ్వేజ్?
Okay, okay.
So any other festivals, sir? This film was sent across the country or worldwide?
We just started, so I think we'll get. We had, put all of our energy into crossing 3 waves of the pandemic and sort of releasing this theatrically.
Okay.
So it's only now we're starting to enjoy this sort of pause and just get to enjoy it with an audience.
Yeah. So did the family, how they react when they saw the first copy or preview of the film?
Yeah, we screened the film across the country before the actual release, and we screened it in Bangalore as a part of our the program around the country, and that's when the uncle and auntie first saw the film, and it was very emotional. It was very emotional for us because it was like a test for us, more than the release and more than the actual audience. I think they are the first audience where the reactions are really important for us, and it was really touching. They were really touched. Yeah.
So before the script was done, any research was done on his personal life and family life and the professional career?
Yeah, we did an extensive research. We met, primarily the research is from the parents, and I met his NSG colleagues, the commandos who were in the operation, and we met the 7 Bihar regiment where he served. And I went to his school, I met his school friends and teachers, and I in fact sat on the same bench that he sat. So the research was very emotional. Yeah.
But they really cooperate when you're doing research?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I think we had a fun moment when, before the release, we went to NSG Mumbai, in the POE base, and the NSG officers looked at me saying, "Tum Sandeep ban rahe ho?" I was very. So
you
they
already
actually
actor. That is resembled to some extent to his.
But actually they were very pessimistic. So they actually put me to the test. So they said, "Training kiya?" मैंने कहा हाँ sir किया है. So they said, "अच्छा दिखाओ." They put an MP5 weapon in my hand and said, "Okay, now shoot at the target." So I said, "Bloody hell!" And I ended up, by God's grace, getting 6 out of the 10. I don't know if on any other day I would have got it, but that day I got 6 out of 10. So they said, "Okay, अच्छा ठीक है चलो कर सकता है ये." So that was the.
So to the director, this question: how he performed as a army soldier? Did you find it was easy moving for the hero to act a commercial hero in the major role, and the military uniform, in that exercises, running with the guns?
Yeah, I think it's his best performance till date, because like I said, we collaborated earlier also, and we know each other for about 10 years, more than 12 years. So I've known him, and he, not to boost up anything, the movie is already theatrically done. It's on the OTT, but he's really worked. He's got into the skin of the character. He's really worked hard on it. Yeah.
I didn't make him say that.
But as an actor, how you felt, sir, when emotionally performed the emotional scenes in the film?
I think the goal was not for us to feel sad about Major Sandeep. The goal was to kind of be in the emotion that he would have been when he was defending our country against the terrorists. I think the people are supposed to feel happy and sad, or any other emotion, because it's a full life that we show in the film. To be honest, he was an extrovert, so he was a very joyous character, joking around, pulling everyone's leg, the kind of person whose laugh could be the thing that made you cry if it's gone. So he was like lightning in a bottle.
Coming to your point of view, on screen, off screen, when you were doing the shooting was going on to day-to-day activity, how emotional you were with the role you are portraying in that?
You know, every time our shoot would start, one wave of the pandemic would hit, and then the military would withdraw all permissions, saying you can't shoot at any of the bases. So we ended up building the entire Taj Mahal Palace Hotel in Hyderabad, obviously because the real hotel is a heritage structure and you can't like blast bombs in it. So we ended up building the entire hotel and recreating the 80s and 90s in the film. So it was a very tough thing to do in the middle of sort of a peak pandemic. So what was supposed to release in Dasra of 2020 came in June of 2022.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So can you please pass the mic to?
Thank you. I'm an Israeli journalist for the Israeli newspaper Ma'ariv. I just wondered if you had any reactions of public in Israel who was supposed to see it on Netflix, or there is any other program of distribution. We all know that it was in a Jewish Chabad house in the Jewish community house, and the terrorism was against Israelis. Of course, this movie is mainly about an Indian hero, a real Indian hero, but did you think also that, about the side of the victims, and did you think also make a movie within this movie about terrorism in general and about anti-Israeli or any other terrorism? Are the victims also a kind of heroes of such a movie, according to you?
I think there's a multitude of questions in the question. We actually didn't release it theatrically in Israel, but I know it came out on Netflix in Israel because I got a lot of feedback from audiences in Israel about the film. As far as this film is concerned, it's not a 26/11 film per se. It's Major Sandeep's life story. So it captures different facets of his life, and he wasn't at Harvard House when it happened. He came to the Taj Palace Hotel. So the people he did save include people from different countries and Indians as well. So we focused on his journey for the simple reason that we wanted to tell. See, so many films and so many stories have captured, for some reason, the side of the terrorists more than any other side, and sort of trying to rationalize or discuss what the terrorists were feeling. And we thought it was very important. There was this film I saw called Hotel Mumbai, which I sort of disagreed with. Because they kind of portrayed the National Security Guard in it as sort of people who just kind of came at the end of everything, when the truth was they were a linchpin to the operation and sort of saving the lives of hundreds of people. So it was very important to us that we actually tell a story that showed the side of the special forces who did come and sacrifice their lives, and that's kind of what we tried to do.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions? Well, meanwhile, when they think about a question, I have a question to the makers of TONIC. So why was the character of Mr. Dev named TONIC? Was it because it was made during COVID and the movie acted as a fun-filled medicine to people through tough times, or is there any other reason?
No, I think we have the same story like Major. Like, we thought of releasing the film 2020 because of the pandemic. The whole shooting got postponed, and the major reason why I signed this film because of the title. The title was so catchy. I think he can answer this question better. But me being an actor inside me, like जब उन्होंने सुनाया मुझे, मैं एक पिक्चर कर रहा हूँ तो टाइटल क्या होगा? टॉनिक. What tonic means? Like, it's a solution. And I thought it's the best title like anyone can think of. And I would ask Abhijit to say a few, why tonic? Why not something else? Why not whiskey or something?
See, tonic in the subject, in the story, tonic is like, tonic works like a medicine. But whenever I wanted to make, when I wanted to make this film, initially I wanted to give a title, write a title which should be catchy. From a kid to an old person can easily identify the subject, the film, by the name of the, the title. So that was one reason, one point. But there is another, side, that is, I used to work with Mr. Rajkumar Hirani, an eminent filmmaker. I used to assist him. So during the course of my journey with him, I worked in Munna Bhai series with Mr. Rajkumar Hirani. So during that time, I have seen whenever I used to write a a scene or a character, he used to name the characters very interestingly, like the Circuit. The name, the partner of Munna is Circuit. So one day I wanted to know why Circuit. Then Circuit's son, Chota Circuit. So there are many more, many more. So from that time when I was assisting to him, I had in my mind that whenever I make film, the title should be that catchy, the name of the protagonist should be that catchy that everybody should identify easily, and everybody should like, they should feel happy when they'll talk about the film. And magically during this subject, when you're working on this subject called TONIC, we decided to identify this subject by the name of the protagonist, TONIC, because TONIC in the subject also, it goes so well because TONIC, it works like magic. It gives it works like medicine. So it's a solution, that what they've said just now. So it's like that. But basically it should be a catchy word, people should identify it. That's the main thing.
It's indeed catchy.
My question is to Tarun Murthy, sir. Sir, I've seen your film Operation Java and I'm looking forward to Saudi VELLAKKA. The cast, two actors are same, Binu Pappu sir and Lukman. So do you find a comfort of working with them, or like with Binu Pappu sir, Lukman comes free on a lighter note?
Actually, in the initial discussion, they were not in the scenario. Actually, more than that artist Binu Pappu and Lukman, we are in search of some new talents in the sense, some rooted artists, some drama artists, theatre artists, and we followed some street casting techniques. And finally, after the all permutations and combinations, the casting, finally we decided, okay, Binu Pappu and Lukman is good for that cast. That happened. It's not pre-planned, but happened.
Can I ask a following question?
Yeah, sure.
Like, this is a courtroom drama.
Yeah.
So a viewer like me would like to watch Binu Pappu sir as a policeman. So this thought didn't came to you?
Actually,
he just convinces you that he's a cop.
Actually, more than a court drama, I would like to introduce this movie as a social drama. Actually, Binu Chetan come to in my Operation Java as a cyber cell officer. While we committing that project, I narrate the whole story in the telephone and told him that in this movie you don't have to wear the uniform. So it was, I'm very much comfortable. I know as an actor, he's a chief associate, he's a very, very much busy associate in the Malayalam industry. We discussed a lot about the movies, his vision, mission, very much similar to my vision and mission. So it's easy to cast him. Lukman, actually, his face, his eyes, everything having an innocence. So we never have a second thought while we fix him. Even Sandeep Atan, the producer, also, we never find such an artist with an eyes who communicate that emotion. So it's easy to cast him. Thank you. Thank you.
Questions? Please take the mic. It's being...
My question is to the people behind Saudi VELLAKKA. I saw the movie yesterday.
Okay.
I just loved that old lady. You took a calculated risk by bringing in a totally new face. And she scored, I would say. hats off to you.
Thank you.
And as to the producer, was that not a big risk? Instead of going in for an established lady artist in the 70s or 60s, it was a very big risk, I think.
I'm used to this risk, in fact, if you see the other movies which I've taken. Quite used to it. But the story demanded, the script demanded a fresh face. That is first of all. And we were in hunt for, I think we have, looking for a lot of old women, even from the theaters, and we have nailed down a few, and after a long, it's a long emotional roller coaster journey. In fact, what we had, even from the casting, and I think Lukman was the last one to be casted. In the, I mean, he was the last in the bus. But I mean, what as a producer, what I feel is we should follow with the script. We should travel with the script, and as we travel, the movie evolves. And so the casting also, in the journey we get, the movie takes us along. We are in search of somebody, and somebody would come to us eventually. So that happens, and we had for a better quality movie, I think risk is much involved. And from a producer's point of view, producer is always at risk, unless and unless being a very small, by virtue of talents and content, I would say that Malayalam industry is big, but in terms of business and the volume of business, I think Malayalam is much smaller than any other industry. So we are bound to take risk, and we are used to this risk. So I don't think, and eventually we have complete belief in the audience, and that is what we are expecting, keeping our fingers crossed for December 2nd. Thanks.
Actually, there is an interesting story of casting Devi Verma. I found her from my WhatsApp status. On a friend WhatsApp status, I found somewhere very much close to the character with a thick eyebrow and a very much clear in the face. Destiny happened. Thank you.
That's interesting, sir. Any more questions?
These to the directors on the dais and the actors. You have been to DFE for 2 days, or maybe the yesterday. Have you watched the international films, and what is your opinion about the films, and how you rate your films making of the international cinema?
Which director would like to start?
Good question. Tough answer.
To be very honest, I didn't see any film during the course of my stay. But when I was in film school, I was a student of Shotitra Film and Television Institute in Kolkata. And later on, I was an academic in charge of Film and Television Institute of India, Pune, at FTI. So during the course of my journey, as a student and as a teacher, I have seen many films, many international films, because not only Indian films, those films also helped me to grow, to learn, to understand the language of filmmaking. So this time, actually, I'm enjoying, because we had gone through a huge problem during the course of filming TONIC, and we are coming up with our next film production called Projapati, and so it's a time to celebrate. So we are just resting and enjoying, showing our film to others.
Too honest. You're being too honest. So honest.
So anybody wants to answer his question, so please.
More or less.
Same. Even I don't get any time to watch other international movies, but yeah. But I
don't know if you say no, the next time we may increase the stay of the directors of Indian cinema.
Please.
Not for 3 days, maybe 5 days. To see the international cinema.
And not to the directors as well, producers, because producers are also on the creative side. I would always say that producers are not somebody who spends money on, we are not ATM counters. We are also on the creative side, and we do have I always believe, I don't know why there is something skeptical about producers when it comes to producers, because it's not money that matters, but we also find talents. We also have, we read the script, we find it. So I think there should be much more importance to be given to producers as well, I would say, because it is, I myself would say that I'm a creative producer, not a producer who spends money from my pocket and just sit across and watch what is happening. No, I don't. We also involve in the process of making movie. It's an emotional ride for us. It's a creative ride for us, and so it's always when everyone says about movies, when we come to the festivals, we always see that the producers, it is like, okay, he's a producer. No.
You may get a second level.
I think that is I just nothing against you. It was just contradictory to what I spoke.
Let me clear you. If you go back, if 10 years back or 12 years back, the film used to get the best director awards. Then this same issue was there. If not producer, where the film comes out. So they start dividing the prize into producer and the director.
As well as there were no accommodation and travel for the producers. Since 2000, till 2004
Please
or 5.
Express, sir, you are on the media.
That was a reality what I'm speaking about.
This will all go to the government. They will think of these.
So that is what I mean.
My humble request, but please do watch international cinema.
Of course,
same questions we asked the previous press meet, filmmaker from Costa Rica and from Tajikistan. How much do you know about Indian films? Zero knowledge. They don't have any Indian films available, or they don't watch Indian movies also.
I think
the same answer from you also.
So there were earlier it used to be just Bollywood. Now it is a lot of regional cinemas are, especially Malayalam, Bengali, Telugu, and Telugu has just raised its bars after post Bahubali, and even Kannada is evolved over the years. So I think it's a time for the regional movies to, people to identify the regional movies as well. It is not about Bollywood, but it's all about Indian cinema. That is, I would say. And regarding the producers, it was just contradictory to what you said. That's right.
It's true. It's practically true. The producer get a second fiddle, not even you see in the honors, they call the director of the movie onto stage. Then you look at the second round, may call the producer.
No, of course, it's always a director, writer's movie. The movie evolves from there. I mean, the seed comes from there. Even the writer, director.
True. There's no producer, there's no film, there's no director.
Yeah, I think a movie is made when the producer decides to spend a movie. Unless and until, till then it is on papers. So there is a part from the producer who is creative. I think all the producers creative, not myself. I mean, somebody who's sitting here as producers always. I mean, his producer is a great actor, so he's also somebody who's really talented. I mean, so that's it.
Thank you, Sandeep sir. We have a question there.
Yeah, my question is to Shesh. I just wanted to know your experience and feelings whole throughout the film.
Sometimes you get lost in the chaos of it, and you're caught up in, so I'm jumping across 5 floors while there's 30 people running towards me and these bombs are going off, and that's all you think about the mechanics of it. And every once in a while what happens is Shashi would sort of pause me and say, think about this emotion for a second. Think about what the people around him are going through, what he might be going through. They feel fear, he sees fear in their eyes. He feels fear, yet he has to find courage within himself to give others courage. So it's a very complex set of emotions. And what used to happen is every time I felt like I was getting into a rhythm as an actor, the pandemic would set in, stall our shoot for 3 months, 6 months, 2 months. And it's tough to do when you've got to build like massive sets for a film. So we'd come back 6 months later, and what would inevitably happen after each wave is whenever I'd put the uniform back on again, it would be like this tidal wave of emotion that would hit me. I'd be approaching the set, I'd be approaching my lines, my scenes, just sort of very methodically. But once the uniform would come on, it would hit me that, this is a real man. It's his real story. So that kind of sums up my experience. And to be honest, the tidal wave even hit yesterday when we were there at the memorial.
My question to Dev sir. Sir, we all know as you are a very busy actor and you are also a member of parliament. Both these areas require a lot of time and demand a lot of effort. So how do you manage both the things simultaneously and do great work, sir?
See, it's a good question, you know, like, I'm quite used to this question now. See, for me, it's very important being an MP or being an actor, being anybody in today's society. You need to be a good soul first. So somewhere down the line, you know, like you need to be grounded. You need to know you are here to help the people as an MP, and as an actor, I'm here to entertain the people. You know, like these two things are very much clear in my head. And today's time, you know, like कहीं बोलता हूँ मैं, आज के दिन में फेमस होना बहुत डिफिकल्ट है. Once you are famous, you know, like a politically, you know, like strong state, it's not that easy, you know, like. But again, I think people of my constituency, they have been very good to me rather than me doing good things for them. They have been like, this is my second term, you know, like I thought I'll lose out because my percentage in parliament is the lowest. It's 7% or 8%. And I'm very so sorry. I still now, you know, like whenever I go to my constituency, if campaigning time, I say, please don't vote me. You know, vote somebody who will, you know, like be there. But you know, it's the love from the people. And regarding me, I am also a producer of my own film, like TONIC. I'm a co-producer. I'm producing films over there, and I'm so happy that the way you have defined as a producer, like respect for you. Yeah, actually, I'll be to your question only. I'll not drag to something else. Yeah, it's I'm fortunate कि at this age इतने कम उम्र में इतने सारे मौके मिले. Otherwise MP बनने के लिए भी बहुत टाइम लग जाता. And to be on this dais, IFFI में जहाँ पे like I'm sitting Indian stalwart के सामने मैं बैठा हूँ. It's also इसके लिए भी, you know, like you need to be lucky, and I'm fortunate. God has been kind to me. Parents' blessings are there with me, and my audience जिन्होंने मुझे यहाँ तक पहुँचाया, and my voters who have full faith in me. So I think it goes to them.
Any more questions?
Hi, my question is to all of you. With a lot of OTT platforms today, what is your weightage on feedbacks from the audience in terms of responses from the region where you're all representing, plus outside, like worldwide? I mean, I am from Dubai, and I've watched major movie, and I have watched the TONIC, the reviews. I've seen a few interviews of yours as well. So for me, I am from Kerala. So for me to watch other movies, OTTs does provide that privilege, but not in theater, not always. So what do you think? What feedbacks, like from the feedbacks that you've received, do you prefer releasing movies directly through OTTs or in theaters? To all of
I'm a big screen theater through and through.
Cinema is made for 72 mm.
Yeah, 70 mm.
Cinema is made for big screen. Period.
But you're right in terms of accessibility. So at least my aspiration with my next film releasing in a few days, actually in Telugu, we're dubbing it into Hindi later this month. And my next few projects is to also try and do it in 5 or 6 of the major languages to make it accessible in the same way you said. Today, by God's grace, I found an audience in Kerala, which I didn't have 5 years ago. So my goal is to keep nurturing it, and sort of not just me be an audience for Mamuka sir's movies or Mohanlal sir's movies, but also I have my audience there. You know, that's the goal. So I am working on that. That accessibility question, that's what we're working on. But big screen through and through.
Yeah, but OTT आने से जो हुआ, you know, like nothing is regional. Everything has become global for producers, for actors. You know, like major. You know, like it's super success worldwide. You know, कहीं जाके OTT has helped, and somewhere Indian cinema सबके लिए भी अच्छा. But at the end of the day, we want to travel to different parts of the world. But somewhere deep down in our heart, we want to release the film in theater. एक दिन के लिए हो ना, एक दिन के लिए हो, लोग बड़े पर्दे के लिए पिक्चर बनाते, हर डायरेक्टर हर प्रोड्यूसर चाहता है मेरा पिक्चर बड़े पर्दे में हो, उसके बाद हम हर जगह ट्रैवल करें.
I think the OTT broke all the linguistic barriers. In fact, it's cinema is one, not confined to a certain language. Cinema is only one language, and of course, the theaters, stars are made from the theaters. We evaluate and value the stars, the directors, the movie when it comes to the theaters, and the applause, everything that is an emotion for every for every movie man or movie person who works in the movie, getting the applause or standing ovation in theaters. So always theaters comes first, and OTT helps us to break all the barriers. Cinema is one. That's what I would say.
Yeah, in between, on December 2, we are releasing the movie in Kerala. We hope the support from other states also supports of the Vellakka.
I'll be at the theatre.
Thank you.
Yeah, me too. Same here.
So, if there are no more questions, on that note of cinema is one, we would like to conclude this press conference. Thank you, Major Team Movie, TONIC Team Movie, and Saudi Vellakka Team Movie.
Thank you.
We wish
Thank
you
you
all
so much.
very best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.